Namaste. Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome. Welcome to day 20 of my Advent calendar. This has been quite a journey and discipline, I'll have to say. And also showing me something that is quite possible, and that is to broadcast every single morning. And so I am contemplating a way that I might be able to carry on with that. I really have appreciated your responses and saying how much you are resonating with the daily messages. So I will be carrying on and starting the tarot card of the year readings. That will be a series that will go over 20 days or so. But I'm just thinking about how I might carry on with this. So thank you all for your inspiration and support of this little project. There is a prize at the end if you haven't quite tuned into that. So all you need to do is comment. You can comment once each day, and then you will have 23 entries into the draw for a gift box. And this gift box will contain tarot cards, oracle cards, and other goodies. And wherever you are in the world, the box size and weight will be adapted to your location. So today, my theme is collage decks, and I am going to do this morning's inspiration from the Voyager Tarot by James Wanless. As we move closer to the hours of solstice, may you begin to find the vibration of silence, of peace. I feel that this is one of my favorite times of year for mornings, the stillness of the morning, getting up at 6 o'clock or earlier and just being in the dark, being in candlelight. It's so special. And even now, it's light outside. It's still a little dark in, and the candles are, there's just something really beautiful about it. I will be offering messages for you in the Facebook group later tonight. So I'll have that thumbnail up in a little bit. May this morning's message bring support and inspiration, comfort where needed. May a symbol, a little tiny corner of a detail in James's collage work, jump off the page for each and every one of you, bringing meaning, connection to your unique yet collective inquiry. As always, we ask these messages be in the highest for the greatest good, and that no harm be done. So be it. I'm going to read you a poem for the first card. This is the Seven of Worlds. And the keyword is breakthrough. And I'm going to read you a poem by the collected poems for this deck by R. Lloyd Hageland. Breakthrough is the switch, the on from off, the go from not, the cracking through, the sudden yes, the aha-ness. Lava bursts from pent, building pressured mount, like sprinters quivering in the holding for crack to release like arrows from a bow after long rest, a-quivered. The energy of breakthrough is fiery and explosive. Stallions in spring race, leaping finally through the starting gate. When you have the breakthrough card, prepare for instant change and chariot explosion after silent wait. breakthrough is your cocoon bursting and you suddenly transformed and you manifest your new in silence, burst forth as planned anew. Seven of Worlds. I talked about sevens yesterday, I think, in that. Good morning, Mary Beth and Clevis. Sevens break us out of the sixes. They charge us forward. And when I look at this seven, I really pick up on that energy, and I know that in my heart of hearts, the more work that each and every one of us is doing in regards to our own spiritual development. Wow, what a beautiful card this is. This is the keyword here is feeler. This is the Child of Cups, and I feel like we had this card. We had Child of Pentacles yesterday. Wow, so really important to be in this experience. I'm going to look to the guidebook as well too. You know, one of the things I like about the Voyager Tarot is the resources that are available. The Three of Cups is love. So there is a lot of when I look at these three cards together, the thing that's coming through is it's important to get out of the there's never disconnect between heart and mind is never a good thing, and we want all of our energy bodies working together. But there's something here about the sensorial experience and the trusting of energy. And I know at this time of year, there's a lot of energy that's put into manifestation. People are praying and hoping that things will be okay, that there will be enough money. And from the work, the people that I have followed and listened to, there's this common theme and message, and that this is not just about asking it, and it's not just about visualizing. It is really important to have the ability to have a creative imagination, to feel and to be in that next step already. So when you close your eyes and go to bed at night, you see yourself there, you be in that experience. When you are in that mood of praying and manifesting, you feel as if you are already there. And this Child of Cups and Three of Cups it's a lot of, it's that heart of hearts kind of energy that knows I'm in this and I must trust in spirit, because this is happening. And, you know, it's very hard to understand how all of these dimensions that are around us coexist simultaneously, but they do, and there are greater forces. And I believe with every part of my being that each of our support teams are working with us to orchestrate the most beautiful of experiences that is in our highest. And the more that we invest in our energy body, the more in alignment we will be with spirit. So what does this mean? This means breathe. This means to, and this is just a beautiful message for what I wanted to talk about, my tarot tip today. Your response to your tarot readings is really important. Like the way feeling them. Oh, welcome, Renata. Thank you so much for the membership join. Thank you. Um, do you know what I mean? Like there don't I don't want to say don't do this. Don't do this. So how do we feel this? How do we allow this level of passion? How do we create this level of passionate connection? Because that's what this message is. Create a level of passionate connection so intense that you feel like you're already in it. Find appropriate music, draw, paint, dance, visualize, and hold and capture those feelings for 11 seconds, 17 seconds, 7 minutes, 11 minutes, whatever you can sustain. If you're one of those people that looks at the clock at 11:11 and 10:10 and 12:12 and 1:11 and 2:22, pay attention to those, and in those moments, sustain that intention with all your heart. Never forget that emotion is energy in motion. And when we are in our emotional body, we are moving energy through our chakras, and we are helping to build and to expand our energy bodies. And the more we can expand our energy bodies, the closer we will feel to spirit. This breakthrough is co-created with you and your team in spirit. That you have known. I'm sure that many of you believe these missions, these journeys that we are on are part of something we have contracted with ourselves, with our soul, and that even as a child, this began. So in every way, in every range of emotion, allow yourself to feel. Because even in sadness, this is a connection to your emotional body. This is not just about joy. This is about allowing yourself to experience the full range of emotion that's connected to what you are moving through. And breakthrough happens sometimes in the most intense of ways, where you absolutely must hit rock bottom. So whatever level, variation of this is your reality, know that the more intensely you feel, the closer you are. Okay? So I was going through, good morning, G. I was going through, I wanted to pick out for you today my favorite collage deck. And I realized, my God, I have a lot of collage decks, some of which I have acquired recently. There are a couple of tarot tubers who just are fanatically big fans of collage decks, and I was so intrigued. This is some months back, probably even before the summer. And so I have acquired a few new ones, and I have some old ones. And as I was going through, I'm going to share with you some cards. Let's move to today's message. I was thinking how psychologically challenging some of these collage decks are. Now, this is one that I have not worked with. This is the Ritual, And, I feel like there's different levels of collage decks. And this is one that is at a whole different level. What the medium, the content of the art is challenging. The level of space. Oh my goodness, there's a deer right outside my window, and hopefully the dogs stay resting. Excuse me, I just need to create a block so the dogs can't go to the window. It's so funny, it's just staring at me, chewing on, eating some cedar, actually. Sorry, totally forgot what I was saying. I am really intrigued with this deck. Oh, I'm going to highlight Mary Beth's comment. So we are in an interactive process with the universe. Yes. This is, yeah, and feel it with every ounce of your being. And one thing that Mary Beth that comes to mind is the intensity of perhaps the wanting to quit, that sort of energy. Think about other challenges that you've been in, or other retreats, or other things you've been studying where you come to this point where it's all just too much. And I think this is part of this feeling experience. We need to really become better witnesses of our experiences. Yeah. I am so intrigued with the intensity of these collages. And while I have set another intention for 2024, I need to find space to be in this artwork. And I also had a look at Julia Cuccia Watts's. I have two of her decks, and they are also very intense. And I don't know if I would consider her artwork collage. I think so. But I have to say that my favorite collage decks are the ones that are psychologically intense. So there are layers in layers, and we have in this deck. This is the Dust to Onyx. In the major arcana, or in many of the cards, we have there's an intention for actual humans behind the masks. And there's this participation between real beings and masks, and then a lot of the objects, the sacred objects, the random objects and things that would have been in the craft studio, all have powerful meaning. I think that what Courtney created in this deck is truly intense, and it is available for any of us to discover. And so as I was going through, I'm going to show you some other intense collage decks. And these ones I'm not going to show you, because what I'm realizing is that, so the Crow Tarot, right? This is a collage deck, but it doesn't have that sort of psychological intensity. the Muse Tarot is a collage deck that is kind of bizarre in some places. There's a few things I love about this deck, and one is all of the portals and so forth. And so I think there, oh, I've got another one here that's kind of straightforward. And that is, and this is a beautiful deck. This is a textured tarot. This is the Death card. And there's a few cards in this deck that are just absolutely, absolutely stunning. And so I think we cannot group collage decks all into one melting pot. There are some that are incredibly intense and others that are a little bit more manageable. And so it's more of collage as artwork rather than collage as an intense psychological experience. You know, like the stretch tarot is very the stretch tarot is a collage deck. It's as are many of Marie Bento's decks. And while they are amazing, amazing artwork, I just had this aha moment this morning where I'm going, okay, what it is that I like about some of these decks, and I would put the this one is the Tiger Tarot, and I would put the Voyager Tarot and the Ritual Tarot and this one that I'm showing you now, the Tiger Tarot, into this category of tremendous intensity. And this one probably at the bottom of the row. And I would say Ritual and Voyager are just so, yeah, intense. So if I, good morning, Annette. If I was, and this has really changed, because once upon a time I would have said that the textured tarot was my favorite one. Oh, and I have one other one, and that is oh yes, this was also a favorite at one time, and I might do readings with this one tomorrow. This is fabric art, and I would consider this a collage deck as well too. This is the Enchanted Tarot. So this is fabulous, fabulous, but it's not in that category that was just sort of really speaking to me this morning. So back to the textured tarot. There's certain cards in this deck that really started to speak to me, and this was one where I saw this tree as a cloud, or there's just something about the smoke coming out of the chimney over this house, and the idea of, and I think we had a ten of Pentacles. Sorry, all my readings are kind of morphing together. I've done a lot of readings over the last few days, but the idea of the Ten of Pentacles being quite a card of burden. And now I look back and I think, wow, how you know, this deck is not it's not rocket science. I have tried. I mean, I've always loved, like, I call that my Humphrey Bogart card. And I think this Ten of Cups is really, really beautiful. And I think I will, I think I will keep this deck for sure. But it's not one that requires an intense level of study. All right. So that means that either today's deck that I drew from, which is the Voyager Tarot, or the Ritual Tarot, I would say that these are my two favorite collage decks. presently. And what it is that I like about them is the intensity. Um, I'm really intrigued with their intensity. So, and that was just a sort of a something that came through this morning as I was pulling out collage decks and going through them, going, wow, my feeling about working, or why I would want to work with a collage deck, is very different than what it was many years ago. Yeah. Okay. So, my tarot tip of the day. And I'm so happy that the message in the reading supports this. My tarot tip of the day is to respond to tarot with poetry. Respond to tarot. Now, you could change that with painting, with drawing. Respond to tarot in a way that you don't normally respond to tarot. Write a cinquain. Write a haiku. Some of the most intense experiences I've had with guidebooks are the guidebooks that have a poetic response to the cards. And I'm thinking of the Margaret Peterson, the Tarot of the She. There are others in my library that have poems, and I shared with you this book, which is the poetry companion book to the Voyager Tarot. What if you do your reading this morning or this evening, and instead of just making your normal journal entry, you respond in a different way? Now, why would this change everything? Because poetry it's closer to the abyss than our, I mean, if you're doing what's the word, automatic writing, that would be a close second. But there's something about an artistic response to your tarot reading that feels different. So if you were, where's our reading for today? So if you were to respond to this reading today, and there's something for me about the, sorry about the glare, the riot of color, and the way that the child, and I might want to write down a few keywords, like there's something about I want to say the child emerges. That's going to be one of my lines. And the way that the child and both the stallion emerge through this riot of color. And I want to sit and be in my feelings and be in the passionate response to the cards. And not for once, for just for today, don't analyze the reading. Don't try to find meaning. Just find a poetic response. No judgment on how good or if your poetry follows the rules. Just respond with your emotional body. Okay? All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me today. And let me know how this connects. And I look forward to reading your comments. I will see you tomorrow for day 21. And I will see some of you on Facebook later for a message for you all. Take good care. Namaste.